Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Waking Up to Your True Potential. My name is Laura Vinenkowski, and I'm an international life and relationship coach, and I coach in English, Spanish, Finnish, and Italian. I'm very excited to have my guest today. My guest today is Emily Lane, and Emily is a mentor to conscious leaders, change makers, and pioneers. And she's also the founder of the New Paradigm Leaders Academy. And Emily started off in the corporate world, and then she had a near-death experience, which catapulted her into a search for answers, meaning, and purpose. And she has clients all over the world. So you're very welcome, Emily. It's so nice to see you today.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for having me, Laura. And also just to say thank you for your work in the world, because this is incredibly important. So thanks for all the convening that you're doing and the interviewing that you're doing. It's brilliant.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure, and it feels so right. It feels aligned, to me, to my life purpose, to the universe. And, I just felt that I needed to get this information out now, in these incredible times that we're living in,
No more important time than for us to come together now. So much happening in the world, so much happening. I guess we're going to get into that, but yes.
Yeah, definitely. As you were saying, I was getting like goosebumps, or as cosmic goosebumps, as I call them, But what was it that you called them? You have a great name for them.
The cosmic champagne. There's the fizz that you get when that runs down your spine when something's really on point, right?
Yes, I love that. I love that cosmic champagne and the fizz. I love it.
That's actually a sign. It's one of the ways we'll get into this, but resonance expresses in many different ways, and it's one of the ways that when I'm working with people that we know something is really on point. If you get goosebumps and I get goosebumps, we know there's communication happening. I have them right now. There's a communication.
Me too. Right? Oh my God, we got the goosebumps at the same time.
Right, it does, because there's no separation, right? So once the energy is there and it's on point, that's when you know, we're right on time and we're right on track. So that's perfect.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So this interview is definitely meant to happen today. With everything that's happening and all the cosmic goosebumps and the cosmic champagne and all of that. So yeah, everything that you do, Emily, sounds so amazing and so aligned. Like I was talking about that alignment, and I think it's amazing, how you're a mentor to conscious leaders and change makers and pioneers. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So where do I begin? I guess to say the cosmic goosebumps are like the medicine for the earthly challenges, right? Yeah. So that's the link here. So what I do is I help conscious leaders, change makers, and pioneers to deepen their spirituality. So this means to really deepen their connection to their own inner being and to their guidance. So that then, because these people are leading edge, and so they're here to change the world. And so if we can help them align, then we have ultimate leverage in terms of influencing others. Because you know yourself, if there's somebody that you go, wow, that person's a pioneer, that's so inspiring, that person's a change maker, that person's a leader. And if they're walking in the world deeply aligned with the center of their being, there's a kind of presence, there's a magnetism, there's an on-pointness to that person. And so they become magnetic, and then they help inspire other people to do the same. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to specifically work with these people, amazing, inspiring people. So I'm so lucky. They're my teachers every single day. I learn from my clients because they're all right on the leading edge. And so I'm so grateful to work with this particular inspirational group of people. Would it help if I maybe just kind of create a little context around how I got to that?
Yes, definitely. That's exactly what I was going to ask you.
Well,
What led you here?
well, look, in a nutshell, like as you mentioned, like I had a death experience when I was whitewater rafting in Ecuador. That was
Wow.
inconvenient at the time, to say the least, but amazing transformation. And so it catapulted me into the search for meaning and purpose, because I'd come from being a leader in the corporate world and the business world, and it was just missing that meaning, that substance, right? So I guess maybe like yourself, Laura, actually, maybe started this journey maybe a little earlier than perhaps a lot of people. Now that we've been through the COVID lockdown experience, a lot of people have been challenged with things that maybe might have been buried for some time.
Yeah.
My kind of experience came a little earlier, where I was catapulted into that death realization, the realization we have so little time on this planet, and how do we make it mean something. And so
Yeah.
I had that a little sooner, and so I spent, it's about 15 years or so, researching and learning with a lot of teachers, and then started creating my own programs, and then got to do some really juicy initiatives, and to teach in different places like the Omega Institute and so on. So I've just been very, very blessed with that. And so the way I look at it, Laura, and I know you know this too, right? So all of your listeners know this too, right? We know collectively that consciousness is rising like a water table.
Yeah.
So that means there's no escape. Nobody gets to escape this. This is
Yeah.
something that is here now. So all living systems are subject to the law of entropy. That means that at some point they burn out. There's time for the next iteration, the next evolutionary step for that species, for that living system. Humanity is no different. We've been operating in a very particular way that has treated the earth like a resource, right? That has been fear-based, that has been separation consciousness. We know how what we call the old paradigm, how that functions. It's all yang, 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 go, 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 do, do, do. Ignore the heart, ignore the soul, squash it down.
Right.
We just can't do that anymore, right? So this rise in consciousness means that there's a tidal wave of change coming,
Yeah.
whether we like it or not. But the choice that we've got to make is, do we want to get on our surfboard and learn how to surf that wave? Or do we want to sort of doggy paddle and get crushed by it? Because that's really, it's that kind of divergence.
Yeah.
So what I do is I help people learn how to surf that wave of consciousness and to become really aligned, so they can have a beautiful experience and can then help others do the same. It's really the time for innovation. It's the time for new ways of being, and it's time for a global changing of the guard.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my God. Like I keep on getting goosebumps. Like everything that you say just like resonates so much with me,
Because we know this, right? Because we do know this. So that, like, the goosebumps. So part of the new paradigm. I know. What do you call it? You call it the new earth, right?
Yeah. I call it the new earth, but you call it the new paradigm, right?
Same. We're speaking the same language here. It's the same. So part of the core principle of this is that we are led by the intuitive resonance of our inner being. So resonance is like a tuning fork right in the center of your being.
Yeah.
And it's from your soul, from your higher being. So it's like, which has higher sight. Your soul has higher sight.
Right.
So if you are feeling resonance running through your body, that is your soul's way of saying, this way, this is something good. We need this.
Yeah.
So for us to ignore that and repress it with logic or something the external world wants is off key. And that's what's one of the main ways the old paradigm, it's not the only way, but it's one of the main ways the old paradigm is off key, because we did not make space to listen to this or to tune into this. In the new paradigm, we're led by it.
Yeah.
Right? Led by it. So we don't ignore logic now. We're not, this is not like unicorns and candy floss brigade rainbows. It's not about that. It's about being extremely sensible, actually.
Yeah.
And recognizing that, for example, if we're wanting to make decisions, we're not ignoring logic, but what we are saying is the first primary piece is something resonant. And does it make sense? And
Yes.
if we can get the sweet spot between those two things, then we're on point.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I said, everything that you're saying just resonates so much with me that I just have like, goosebumps all the time, And then I love how you said surfing the cosmic wave, that you teach people how to surf the cosmic wave, that's such a great way of saying it, because it's so true, because the changes that are coming, it's like a tsunami of changes, right?
Yeah.
And they're coming, whether, like you said, whether we like it or not, those changes
Yeah.
are coming. So yeah, so
Because
people,
humanity is at a point of change. So this is
yes,
not, we can't, this is another thing that freaks the mind out. We can't control this.
exactly.
Freak out.
Yeah.
We can't
Yeah.
control it. And mental control was the core way of operating in the old paradigm. Can't do that anymore, because consciousness is rising and it's taking away that control. So we need to learn, how do we move out of yang hyper control, which is about
Yeah.
your to-do list and execution and delivery in the world and mental models. How
Yeah.
do we allow that to soften a little and take a little bit of a backseat? And how do we learn how to go inwards and open upwards, and to rest in the unknown, the emergent, the emergent? It's crazy for the mind, but your system needs it. Your system needs it. And the only way you will pick up the energetic information that's coming through from the higher realms is that if you slow down and you make space.
Exactly.
That is the only way.
Yeah.
So we're going against everything we've been trained into by the old paradigm. So that's another reason why it's so important to be all come together, and that we practice these new ways of being with each other.
Yeah, definitely. And what would you say, because now, now we live in incredible times of change, everything is changing, and, the old structures are coming down. And of course, that can be very scary. It's scary when the old structures come down, but of course they need to come down, for the new, for the new paradigm to emerge, and for the new structures to emerge. What would you say to those people that still want to hang on to the old ways, right? Because there's a lot of resistance, right? There's people that want to hang on to the old ways, but yeah, what would you say to those people?
Yeah, it's a great question. It's a great question. What I would say is there's a range within that. So some are just people who are just not ready to even look at the new paradigm. And then there's a whole bunch of people right in the middle. These are the people often that I'm working with, or who are right on the edge of moving into the new paradigm. And so a lot of the times what's happening is, Laura, we try and hold on to the old when we can't see what else there is to move to.
Right.
So one of the things I truly entreat people, I ask them to deeply pay attention to what you're allowing into your reality. So what I want to reassure people with is that if you are somebody who is saying, yeah, I know everything has to change, but how and where and what are we going to? Because I can't see where we're going.
Yeah.
What I want to really say to you is a couple of things. Firstly, all of the existing social systems in our world are based on old paradigm consciousness. For example, the media is focused on bringing fear, drama, chaos, everything to be afraid of. That's just the way it's drama. So everything, it's not everything that's happening on the planet, but that's all they report.
Yes.
So a really nice piece to know is that don't look to old paradigm systems for new paradigm existence.
Right.
Because they're not even aware of what's emerging. Right?
Yeah.
This is what, so that's the first thing, is to be aware that there's if there's one piece I communicate today, it's to say to your listeners, there is loads happening in the new paradigm. There's so much happening. It's all I do all day, every day. I'm only working with new paradigm people, or those who are right on the edge of crossing over into the new paradigm.
Yeah.
And I can tell you there are projects, initiatives in the business sector, in the health sector, in the charity sector. I could go on and on and on.
There's
and
so
tell
much.
many stories it's endless. There's so much that's burgeoning.
Yeah.
So what I would say is, firstly, stand guard at the door of your mind, at the door of your consciousness, and turn off the old paradigm story and tune in to podcasts like this one,
Yeah.
right? And conversations like this one,
Yeah.
where you will be fulfilled and feel a lot, because you get resonance, because you get goosebumps, because you can feel it arriving, that
Yeah.
this is a conversation that's going to uplift you.
Yes.
And that's another thing. If you walk away from the conversation feeling uplifted, it has brought you closer to the higher expression of who you are. And therefore, it's part of your soul's evolution. Therefore, it's part of the journey. It's something that's to your advantage.
Yeah.
So the first thing is big picture. Second thing, practices, personal practices.
Yes. Yes. Which
Always.
ones? Which like personal practices would you recommend?
Okay. The first, switch off what you don't want to create, right? Second, tune into the things you do want to create, people who are already embodying that which you want to see in the world. Tune into those people. Third practice, tune into, okay, I'm going to say it this way. Subscribe to your own channel, this channel, subscribe to this one, right?
Right.
Subscribe to your own inner being. So what that means is, what I call it is the 3 S's. 3 S's: space from the world, right? So that's great. Let's say that's not enough though, because let's say, I don't know, you're a mom and you're working and you're super busy, and you could have space, but go and sit in a building site and it's full of noise. You're still getting space, but it's not enough. We must have space, then we must have stillness.
Stillness, yeah.
Right. And then silence. So space, stillness, and silence. So that is literally a daily practice, to spend time in nature, to spend time alone. And why is the question? Why? Because the old paradigm is based on matter, material things, pen, shoving matter about. The new paradigm, because it's emergent, is beginning first with energy. And so those noble thoughts of higher purpose that you have, those inspirational ideas, those vibrations are the subtle vibrations. They're subtle. So you cannot pick up on your calling unless you're creating space to tune in to those subtleties on the edge of your own being.
Yeah. Wow.
Right? So make that space to tune into the subtleties of your own being. And then when you have, there's something that I like to call the rain catcher hour. When you first get up in the morning, it's celestial rain, celestial inspiration. Rain catcher hour, when you first wake up, that you just stream of consciousness, a little bit like the artist's way.
Right, yeah.
Right? But at the end of it, take a highlighter, go back and highlight the wisdom, the golden nuggets of wisdom and the intuitive insights, and then take them, put them in your own journal, and or if you're creating programs for people, as I know a lot of your listeners will be, put them into your programs, right?
Yeah, I love that rain catcher hour. I love that. It's like you wake up and then like you catch like those droplets, like those droplets of wisdom that come through, right?
Yes, it's very important to know that this is not all on your shoulders. When you take this journey to purpose, you have legions of support. You have so much support waiting for you, and you just have to open. You're in co-creation with spirit, co-creation with non-physical, co-creation with other souls here on the earth plane too. But you must begin to let go of operating purely from personality and thinking that I, Emily Lane, have to do everything. No, I don't. No, I don't. I am opening and surrendering and being the best receiver that I possibly can. And then I'm going to operate with professional excellence so that whatever intuitive insights are coming through become delivered in the world in a practical way, so that they're useful. So in that way, I'm only half the equation, Laura. I'm only half the equation. The other half is all my guidance and teachers in the non-physical, the spirit realm. And that's true for you. It's true for your listeners. It's true for all of us. It's the way the game is set up.
Yeah. No, that's so beautiful. I love the way that you describe everything, and Emily, like like you have such a nice way of describing like everything, and and it's easy, it's easier to understand, because all of these concepts are like so big and so cosmic that people can feel overwhelmed.
Yes.
Because they don't understand, like, but what is it all about? So I think that you have a really nice way of simplifying it, right?
Yes.
Bringing it down to earth.
Exactly. That's what it's all that exactly, right? Now you know yourself, Laura, like even like when you're doing these interviews, right? You've got it like chunked down. We've all got to learn to do this. We've got to chunk down into bite-sized pieces. So let's say you've got an amazing project to bring to the world, right? Let's say say the listener now watching this, it's like, let's say you've got a really amazingly inspired project to bring to the world. There's a few things with it. Firstly, your own readiness, right? Your own alignment, your own clarity. Like, what are the structures of support? And that's a very particular word. Structures of support that I need to feel well and stable and steady in the world, so that when I show up to bring this amazing project, that I'm really the best version of me. And that means all of it. What physical, mental, emotional, and energetic support systems do I need? Do I have a team? We call it the SMEEP team. It's the spirit, mental, emotional, energetic, and physical, right? Do I have somebody who's helping me with my physical structure? Do I have an energy healer who's pristine? Do I have mental, emotional support? What do I need to do to improve my nutrition? These are the basics of just personal showing up as a good filter, as a good receiver, right?
Yeah.
But then it's like, brilliant. Now what? Right? I'm here, I'm clear, I'm clean, I'm aligned. Now what? Okay, remembering co-creation, two kinds of co-creation. Firstly, listening to spirit, and invoking is very important. That means that you're tuning to your teachers, consciously identifying your teachers, your guides, and allowing them to really deliver the vision to you in many ways. It's really delivering the vision to you. And asking for their help, because they're never going to assert into your reality. You have to ask for help. But they're ready to help. So just ask first. That's the first level of co-creation. It's the most important. You are co-creating with the universe. You are co-creating with universal flow and energy, right? That's the first level. Second level is, okay, that's the vertical setup. Okay, I'm aligned, I'm co-creating with spirit. That's the vertical.
Right.
The next is, okay, great. What about the horizontal? Who am I hanging out with?
Right.
Very, very important question.
Yes.
Not just who am I following on social media or who am I listening to, because that's all brilliant, but who am I hanging out with? Who are my collaborators? Are they also pristine? Are they clear and clean? Are they aligned? Are they values aligned? Who are the people I'm hanging out in my personal life? Are they great crack? Are they uplifting? And actually, this is a really important principle of the new paradigm. Who said leadership had to be deadly serious? I don't know why we even came up with that idea. Like, why? I fundamentally, Laura, I fundamentally believe that the new paradigm is about having a laugh at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. I believe in that as well. I mean, I laugh every day, like,
Yeah, it's vibrational medicine. If you look at the old paradigm's heavy and serious. And it's like, hello, we have one life. You think
we have to enjoy it. We have to enjoy it and have fun and laugh. Definitely.
Totally. So I believe leaders who laugh, leaders who lighten, leaders who uplift, that's the currency of the new paradigm. The currency is the vibrational currency of your energy. What are you bringing to the table?
I definitely do that. Like I definitely do that. Like my goal is to, like to uplift, and like I even have sessions where people come and laugh with me, like these laughter yoga sessions. So
right.
Yeah.
Let it flow. Like that's it, right?
Yeah.
There's so many, I could give you so many tools and everything, but I'm conscious of your time and I don't want to be too, I just want, so I'd rather ask you now, do you have any questions for me or anything that's really present for you that we can support, or do you have what you need here?
I
Whatever.
think, yeah, I mean, I think that you've shared so much, Emily. And of course, my God, we could stay here talking about this all day, because we both, like we're so aligned, and what we do is, yeah, like it's so aligned and so similar. And we're both, we want to make a difference in the world, and we are making a difference in the world. And we've known about this time for a long time as well. So it's amazing to actually be in this time and, be making that difference, right?
We're here.
Yeah,
Yay.
exactly. The change makers. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so great to, to connect again and, hear all the amazing things, that you're working on, and you continue to help and inspire and, inspire all these conscious leaders and change makers and pioneers. And that's what we really need right now, right? Like to create this new earth and this new paradigm.
Yeah, 100%. I think the last thing I would say is just that to the person watching this, and this is say that you have the most exquisite being, you are the most exquisite being, and you have codes inside you, codes of light and information and vibrational contribution that are unique to you. And it is so important that you believe in that you know that your heart opens to that, and that you trust that. And keep following the resonance of your own inner being, because it holds more truth than all the world combined. It's incredibly important. So trust yourself, listen to yourself, keep following your intuitive impulse, and connect. The time of the lone wolf is over. We must come together and unify in the light and support one another. It's incredibly important. Remember, do not look to old paradigm systems for new paradigm existence. There's so much happening that's deeply inspirational. So stay connected to those who are on the frequency, as they say.
Exactly. And that's so true, because one thing about the new earth and the new paradigm is that, like community consciousness, right? Like we're all in this together, and we need to work
100%.
together, right?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Precisely. This is not, and that means coexistence, Laura. That means we don't all have to agree about everything, but we accept and we hold a collective container, a collective field that is inclusive and coexisting, not separation consciousness and you're wrong and them and us and all that stuff.
Exactly.
Although there are many who would like us to be separatist, but we're not in the new paradigm. Everyone's invited, everyone's included, and everybody matters. Everybody matters.
Exactly. Those are such great points. And thank you so much for sharing all your knowledge and your wisdom, Emily. Like I had goosebumps like the whole time, the cosmic goosebumps, and the champagne and the fizz. I felt it like all throughout this interview. So it's amazing to feel so aligned, like in all ways.
Brilliant. Oh, thank you so much for inviting.
Thank you. And how can people find you?
Yeah, they can find me at emilylane.tv. So it's just Emily Lane and then .tv, and that's it. You'll find me there. We have the Academy. That is so exciting. That's the first intake, and the doors are opening in January. Well, the doors are open now, but the first intake kicks off in January. So that's super. So if people are looking to find a vibrational tribe where we can go on a journey together to come into that incredible new paradigm leadership empowerment, then check it out. And we'll cross paths sometime.
That's great. Thank you so much, Emily. And
thank you.
And thank you everybody for joining us today. I hope that, I hope you got inspired by this interview. I hope you got inspired to think about that new earth and that new paradigm. And it's a reminder to you, how incredibly powerful you are. And, be mindful of the type of information that you take in, be mindful of, what you're watching and what you're reading, focus on the positive, focus on the new paradigm, and focus on, lifting your energy and your vibration in all ways, right? Because we are living in incredible times of change, and you always have a choice. You always have a choice what you choose to focus on. Are you going to focus on the old, or are you going to focus on creating that, everything new, right? The new earth and the new paradigm. So don't forget to tune in every Friday. Every Friday I have an amazing interview with amazing people all over the world. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment, and share with your friends and your family. And you can follow me on social media. I'm on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. And you can email me at lauracoaching@gmail.com. And my website is lauranenkowski.com. So for now, bright lights, stay well, be happy, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.